This next one's called Frack Sand Blues. And this song kind of was born out of me doing a lot of listening to Bob Dylan. And I kind of discovered him about a year and a half ago. It sounds funny. I'm like 40 years old, and I'm a huge music fan. But outside of Bob Dylan's, his bigger hits, I never really gave him that much time, But then I started diving into stuff, and I started listening to, Hard Rain and Masters of War and some of these really just unbelievable songs of his from his first, it wasn't his first album, but Freewheelin' and The Times They Are Changing, that kind of stuff. And I was just like, wow, I was just kind of blown away by the purpose that he had in these lyrics and how edgy they were. And it was just, it just really struck me. And then about the same time, I was listening to that, I kind of was following this controversy that was kind of happening around our town, revolving around frack sand mining. And basically what frack sand mining is, they kind of like they mine this silica sand out of our hills, and it just kind of destroys the landscape and creates a bunch of other problems, lower property value, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of things involved in it, which I would encourage you to look up if you are certainly if you're interested in that. But what that does is they send that out to the East Coast and the West Coast and other places in the world where they use it in this process called hydraulic fracking. And what that is basically there's oil shale deposits under the earth, and they drill down into those oil shale deposits, and then they pump these chemicals into the earth. And what that does is it fractures these oil shale and releases natural gas, which, I'm sure you know what we would use that for. But that's what they do. And they don't do a very good job of keeping the groundwater safe, because a lot of times these chemicals leach out into groundwater supplies and that kind of thing, and it's destroying countrysides and counties and towns and cities. People's water supplies are completely useless now because they've been tainted. Literally, you can go on YouTube and you can find people lighting their tap water coming right out of their tap. You can light it on fire because this stuff is pretty destructive. And it was all born out of bad politics and corporate greed, and the story goes on. And I just kind of got fired up about it, and I said, you know what, I'm writing a frickin' tune about this, and that's what I did. And I'll let the song tell you the rest of the story. So check it out. This is Frack Sand Blues.
Went walking by the river, by the sky-high piles of sand. Asked the hot-hair-wearing man about his dream, his master plan. Was I just piles of sand, he said, the big piles of gold. They're gonna feed some mouths, move idle hands, movers of the totem pole. They'll even grease some palms if you wanna play some ball in the big leagues with the big boys, smoking fat cigars. Just loosen your belt, son. Got the frack sand blues. 3 states to the east, further down the rabbit hole. The water's on fire, the cost is higher while Mother Earth stands alone. They stick it with the needle, they sodomize her soil, pollute the blood of your unborn child in the name of a dollar bill. But hey, at least you got a job and a fist to fight the war with those Persians and the terror and your empty tanks. Yeah, you scared yet? Got the frack sand blues. Got the frack sand blues. raise my hand, a couple questions on my mind. They sent trade secrets, jigsaw puzzles, more wool for my eyes. I followed all the greed and the puppets take for sale. It's all about money, it's only sunny on their side of Capitol Hill. I can see your children with an empty glass and empty tears. And maybe you would too if you take those dollar signs out of your eyes. Come on, man. Got the racks and blues. Got the racks and blues. Got the fracks and blues.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, I had a little attitude on that one. It was kind of interesting too because I was like a big heavy metal guy, hard rock and all that kind of stuff when I was younger. Perhaps the reason I didn't discover that I played music and sang back then. So it was kind of cool. That's as much as I think that sound has this Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan kind of thing going on. It's pretty heavy too. It's got some heavy stuff in there. We threw that real crunchy guitar in there, so that was kind of fun. Doing something a little heavier than I'm used to. So from that, we move on to something a little more heartwarming, at least in my opinion.